Hi, my name is Keith Cooper of Northlight Images, and in this short video I'm going to look at an aspect of tilt lenses and macro lenses which causes a bit of confusion and more than a little disappointment. Tilt, and I've got loads of things about tilt lenses, tilt shift lenses, and I've written a book about how to use tilt shift lenses as well. But tilt in general allows you to change the angle of the focal plane. So the example I've got set here, I'm using a TT Artisan 100mm f2.8 macro lens, and it's got tilt and shift movements on it. It's on a EOS RP here, makes it very easy to set up and show. This is the camera I normally use for shooting my videos, so my old Canon 5DS is doing backup duty for doing video today. Actually produces slightly better quality video than this, but it's a bit more clunky to use. I'm using Canon EOS Utility. I've got a USB-C lead connecting the camera to the Mac Studio here. I'm running EOS Utility. I'm recording video on here, so I will be able to sort of cut bits of video from this into this video when I edit it. Hopefully it will make this all a bit clearer. Now, I said that tilt disappoints people sometimes. Why is that? Well, as it stands, as I've got it set up here, I'm focusing relatively closely. I'm focusing on this little battery box here, and the plane of focus is actually given. I've left this pencil here to show where the plane of focus, and it is exactly as you would expect the plane of focus. Now, if I apply lens tilt, it allows you to tilt that plane of focus. The thing to remember though is that the tilt of the plane of focus does not equate with the amount of physical tilt of the lens. It doesn't work that way. Now, as I've got lots of written articles, videos looking into different aspects of this, but this is just for close-up stuff here. So I'm going to hold the lens still, and because of the design of this, it's far easier to hold the lens still and tilt the camera. So the equivalent is I want to tilt the lens that way, but if I keep the camera still, I can do it by rotating the camera. Hopefully it'll show here what I'm doing. So there we go, we'll apply tilt. Now, you'll see the composition changes a bit. It would even more so if I was to just have the camera on a tripod and move the lens like that. You have to be careful with things like that. Sometimes you need shift as well to offset it. But what we've got is that now you can see that the end of the pencil here is slightly soft. And also the edge of this box is slightly soft, and you can see on the pattern on the wood, which I lined up earlier, whereas why it's partly at this angle makes it easier to show, that the plane of focus now appears to run diagonally across. Well, that's exactly what I'd expect. Let's see if I can line this up a bit better. So that, and we'll bring the pencil round and we'll get the pencil sharp. And you can see that I have now got a tilted plane of focus. Now, when I add tilt, the focus point actually goes back a little bit as well where it's pointing. So it does change that. You don't get closer. You get closer here at this end. I'll just move and fit the scale of things here. So we've got that. So that doesn't seem to be causing a problem, but that's exactly what I'd expect with tilt. And you can see that it's tilted at about that much, so it's about that much tilt. If I focus further away, I can get the plane of focus to run sort of almost anywhere I like, but when you get closer, it doesn't work that way. So let's now put this lens to a much closer focal point, get rid of the shift. Now bring this in here, and as you can see, this is a macro lens. It goes native is 1x macro. So I bring it in here, and you can see we've not got a great deal of depth of field, but there we go. It's fairly close. Let's put that back a bit. You see, the problem with macro stuff is that things move. But anyway, we've got that sharp, and it's fairly good. It's a reasonable quality. It's 100mm. It's a reasonable quality macro lens. Now, if I was setting this up properly, I could get all of this a lot sharper, but this is really just to show the effects. And, well, that looks okay. What about tilt? Remember how much tilt we had last time with this? I'm going to apply the same physical tilt to the lens. That's that. So I'm tilting the camera. And let's see if I can get this sharp now. There we go. Maybe not even sharp there. Let's try that. This is quite a tricky one to do on the fly. That'll do. That's close enough. As I say, closer you get to things, the more vibration and stuff takes effect. Now this is at 1x macro. I could put extension tubes on this and probably take it to a bit more than that. Is it 1x macro? Yeah, it's about it's about 1x. So it's close up, but if you look here, you'll see, you can probably see there's almost no visible tilt. The tilt is 5 or 5 degrees at most from that to that. If I take the pencil, it's too big. I can look at that and I could measure, it's a few degrees. So at close up like this, even the lens at full tilt has allowed me to tilt the subject just a little bit, and that's as much as you can get. When is this a particular problem? If you wanted to, say you wanted to get a macro lens for taking photographs of flowers, and rather than getting the flowers, taking the pictures face on like that, you wanted to take them at a slight oblique angle. You might think, great, I'll use lens tilt and I'll move the plane of focus around like that, and there we go, it's all sorted, and I can do what I... No, unfortunately you can't. The amount of tilt, and this is... I think this is 8 degrees of tilt this has on it. I've got next week, I've got a Fuji lens coming, tilt shift lens that goes up to 10 degrees, 110 millimeters, which will give a bit more effect than this, but even that won't give you much effect like this. I can just... There. Now it's... We've got a tiny amount of tilt there. So there you have it. At this distance, for macro work, you've just got a bit of tilt like that. Out here, you've got quite a bit more. Go back another foot or so, and you've got quite a lot of tilt. So there you have it. That is how close-up tilt works. Now, I've got a load of stuff that looks in detail at close-up tilt, focusing, and all the mechanics of it. But I really just wanted to do this just to show that if you were thinking of getting a tilt macro lens for getting weird tilt effects and that, forget it. It doesn't work. So there you go. Hopefully that saves somebody a bit of money. They are fun things to play around with, but they can only do so much. I'm afraid if you want to take pictures of flowers close up at oblique angles like that, you will need to do some form of focus stacking, and that's the way to go about it. Anyway, if you've got any questions, please do ask. It's people's questions and that give me the ideas for these. If you found it interesting, I've got lots more different stuff on this channel, so please do subscribe, and thanks for watching.